Hello, everyone. We will talk about the island of Ireland, where they speak English and have lots of interesting clothing. That is what we will focus on clothing of the island of Ireland. Ireland has been inhabited for about 7,000 years and has experienced many incursions and invasions, resulting in a rich mixture of ancestry and traditions. The dress styles portrayed in figurative art produced in Ireland between the advent of Christianity in the 5th century and the defeat of the Vikings at the Battle of Clontarf in 1014. The art dating to the early medieval period was the first extensive figurative art in the country and the representation of clothing. The lane, which is generally translated as a short or tunic, was an ankle-length sleeveless garment and is usually described as worn next to the skin and made of white linen. The brad or cloak worn over the line could be very large and was sometimes described as wrapped around the body 5 times. The cloak was a symbol of social status and was often very large and ornately decorated with decorative borders along the edge. It was secured on the breast by a bronze, silver, or iron brooch or pin, depending on the individual's social status and wealth. The brad or cloak was also brightly colored with descriptions of purple, crimson, and green cloth dominating the literature. Celtic cloaks were famous and those made in gold were exported to the Mediterranean world. Trousers or tribus, now pronounced trews, were also worn by certain tribes of the Celts. Cloaks called brada, on the other hand, would signify wealth and they were made of several different colors. Like men, women's clothing was most derived from wool. By the 15th century, women were wearing long dresses made from wool cloth, often decorated with ribbons and other accessories.
Contemporary Irish dancers also wear traditional clothes. Female dancers usually wear brightly colored dresses with intricate embroidered patterns, and each school of dancing has its own unique design. Often, Celtic patterns find their way onto these dresses, and some dances will include a tara brooch, an elaborate traditional Irish brooch. In part as a reminder of the artistry of ancient habits of Island dancers, might be wear hard or soft sole shoes for this kind of step dances. In the 18th, hard shoes often had wooden heels and toes that made loud clicks as the dancer moved, similar to tap dance shoes.
Some of the traditional clothing in Ireland are the Éireann sweaters. They are used mostly in cool weather, and they became popular until the 20th century. But there are other more recognizable traditional fashions in Ireland. For example, the kilt. These were worn as a sign of solidarity with other people who wanted independence from England. Although the kilt is mostly worn on formal occasions and at Highland Games and other sports events, it has also been adapted as an item of informal male clothing. We know that climate makes a change in our clothing. In Ireland, the ocean climate is generally mild, but sudden rainfall is common. Many natives dress in layers that they can shed or add depending on abrupt shifts from hot to cool, wet and windy.
On the other hand, on St. Patrick's Day, in Ireland people wear a small bunch of shamrocks on the right breast of their other clothing. The shamrocks are blazed in ceremonies all over Ireland by either local priests or bishops. This is known as the blessing of the shamrock. St. Patrick is said to have used the shamrock, a three-leaf plant, to explain the Holy Trinity to the pagan Irish. The first association with the color green with Ireland is from the 11th century pseudo-historical book Lever Gabbalah Eren, which forms part of the mythological cycle in Irish mythology. And the color green was further associated with Ireland from the 40s when the green harp flag was used by the Irish Catholic Confederation. As the popularity of St. Patrick's Day grew in the United States, so did the tradition of wearing something green. From green hats to shamrock sunglasses, everyone today celebrates the Irish culture by the wearing of the green. It is customary to wear shamrocks, green clothing, or green accessories too.